Hello everybody, this is my lovely container, and over here we have an abomination. Let me get a good lighting of it. And a bucket full of that stuff. That's the water that came from it. And basically you've got two super big magnets. You can see going through a partial two-way blah 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 intersection hose connector, rubber band held on by high technology. Not even. Okay, so it's going from the tap source into the double spin vortex. But they are not attracted to each other. They are repelled from each other. So that means that whatever goes into that chamber, once it hits the middle, it's going to be flung out in all directions. Much like the reverse of a black hole. That's not true. Black holes crash matter together, and the resulting friction creates forms of energy which emit light. That's my theory. So I'm sticking by it. Okay, so pushing water through a repelling field, should any metal decide to go in, it had better be diamagnetic. Because if it's metallic and it gets anywhere near this hole, on the entrance of the magnet, both of them are pushing against each other, trying to get away. And these bits of metal in between, they're not actually magnets. They're just stone, these special metal that I found in the circuit of a TV that was near magnets. There was only one magnet, this magnet here, a little magnet, and these other ones. So it's something to do with cathode ray tube of a big size. The screen was a 42-inch just about, but it was a big old cathode ray tube flat screen. But it was big and hollow and had a big long bum, about a 2-foot long, hose spraying cathode ray tube thing, electron firing cannon from the back to the front of the inner screen. Okay, too much talking. So, before I used to have both magnets coupling and going in one direction, as I have seen people say to do, draw the metal out that way, throwing it up into, it spins into a vortex, and what comes down the vortex is supposed to come out another hose and drop. So you're supposed to have, supposedly, you're supposed to have it like this, and maybe tilted a bit, whatever, but maybe it's a vertical, and it spins because of the inner of the magnet causes it to spin. If you have them both going the same way, the spin will go the same way. But if you have two twisted vortexes heading toward each other, and the central zone is the orgone zone, and there is where the refinement of ormus begins, and all the other stuff is cast aside. But with this vortex, it's a repulsion vortex, so what happens is pretty much nothing iron will go through it. Won't even go near it. It'll be propelled out this hole and wasted. So I collected liquid out of this, and I drank it, and it tastes like milk. It looks like water, tastes like milk. And there's a whole bucket of stuff over there. Just seems like water, not cloudy like all those fancy people say. Yep, so you just grab it, stick it on the old tap. It's only experimental, you just try to come up with all different ways. I like the bong idea, blowing air feeder in through water, and having the magnets repel, keeping supposedly the ormus is diamagnetic, so you just have your repelling magnetism and it pushes it back in. So if that's so real, I'm repelling it away from it. So it's probably going out down the sink. I hear one that keeps metal out of the water. So this is the magnet repeller that repels water, repels metal out of water. But it's not doing the ormus thing where it's supposed to repel it back into something. So repelling, don't know if that's a good idea. Otherwise I'd probably have it the other way around then. But my theory is going to try both ways. This one tastes less magnetic, or less metallic, and I'm sick of tasting metallic in my water. So this is what it does. It tries to keep the metallics away. The problem is, I think the ormus is going away and I'm just having plain clear water. Okay, what's this over here? Bring it over and have an explainy. Okay, so there's all this bluey stuff. Aqua, whatever that colour is. The magenta? I don't know the name of it. So what's going on is 2 electrodes in salt water. We have a pencil lead that's called a carbon electrode. That piling up stuff that's copper sulfate. The negative emitter emits outwards in an ungrounded environment. And that's what this jar is. It's ungrounded. In other words, electricity does not go through the glass. It does, it goes pretty blow flow. It's supposed to be unearthed. This machine that it's sitting on has an earth wire. So that's earthed. But I mean, I can stick it on something like plastic and the same result happens. The negative one emits and it makes hydrogen and whatever come out. It's hydrogen, and the positive one makes. So the problem is that the one that's got the pencil lead up the top, if that copper thing goes in the water, it makes this blue stuff. And it evolves into sodium hydroxide eventually. Should you want it to go that far, you can push the pH up. Sorry, I had just pushing that little thing down. So you can push up the pH level in the salt, and it will change into chlorine gas, and it's got to open top to let the gas out. Most people collect it, have a hose going into some water with a bit of sponge in it, and have an air-fed system going in, blowing any chlorine gas, pushed it in, the air in, pushing the gas through to another hose out into the water, which causes it to make a chloric acid stuff. Yeah, right. And then that helps break down the gold. Has some gold in the CPU chip that only in the computer there was $400, but there's not much gold left to go. But one of those and another one on each electrode, and one pushed, missing out whatever was missing out of it, probably some gold. The other one was crunching it in, and it wasn't bonding to anything, so therefore it was stuck in liquid, and that's what cool little gold is. Here it is, here's the cool little gold, and it's stir it around clockwise. I've got this obsession with stirring everything clockwise. Okay, it's looking pretty dull today. It's only all the gold off of this known chip. So it's going to either evolve or whatever. Some people say, put some in your mouth. Tastes like magnesium and chlorine. So what's that called? Sodium chloride. Take it in July in New Zealand. And some urine filtered. I forget it would have been something, just a bunch of rubbish that smells like magnesium and crap, really. It's rubbish. I might try a little bit of this with that, but I don't think it's going to do the sodium hydroxide thing today. It's tomorrow, maybe. So keep on practicing making up magnetic tracks. Ones that repel or ones